Good evening, students.
During
Okay. So in the last class, we were discussing about Biot-Savart's law. So Biot-Savart's law gives an idea about the factors on which the magnetic field depends. Okay. Dia, can you state Biot-Savart's law? State Biot-Savart's law.
The magnitude of magnetic field is directly proportional to current I, the length dl,
Hmm.
and the sine of angle between P and the conductor, and is inversely proportional to R.
It is inversely proportional to the square of R or square of the distance between the point P. No problem. The square of the distance between the point P and that of the conductor. Good. Aditya, what is the equation for Biot-Savart's law?
and vector dB equal to
Hmm.
mu 0 by
Hmm.
4 pi into
Hmm.
IDL into
Hmm.
vector R by R cube.
Not in vector form, the normal form of Biot-Savart's law. dB is equal to
dB equal to mu 0 by 4 pi into IDL sin theta by R square.
mu 0 by 4 pi IDL sin theta by R square, where I is the current flowing through the conductor, DL is the length of the conductor, and theta is the angle between the point P and that of the conductor, and R represents the distance between the point P and that of the conductor. So that's about the Biot-Savart's law. And we were comparing this Biot-Savart's law with that of the electric field. So I think that is what is we are discussing. So first of all, we can discuss the similarities between the Coulomb's law and that of the Biot-Savart's law. So just similar to that of the Biot-Savart's law, we have Coulomb's law in electric field. So both these laws between, they have a similarities and dissimilarities between this Coulomb's law and that of the Biot-Savart's law. The first similarity is that both the Biot-Savart's law and that of the Coulomb's law obeys the inverse square law. Both these laws obeys inverse square law. Both the Biot-Savart's law and the Coulomb's law obeys inverse square law. Then according to the second point, both these laws works on the principle of superposition. Both these laws obeys principle of superposition. And the third similarity, both the Biot-Savart's law and Coulomb's law. Coulomb's law works on electric field and Biot-Savart's law works in magnetic field. Both of them have the same source and they are linear in nature. Both of them have the same source because the stationary charges produce electric field, moving charge produce magnetic field in Biot-Savart's, and these source of charges, they are linear in nature. They are linear in nature. So these are the similarities between Biot-Savart's law and Coulomb's law. So now we can discuss what about the difference between Biot-Savart's law and Coulomb's law. Now the difference between Biot-Savart's law and Coulomb's law.
Ma'am,
Yes,
what is meant by they are linear in nature?
linear in nature, both of them are travel in a straight line manner.
Okay, ma'am.
Now the difference between Biot-Savart's law and that of the Coulomb's law. The first difference, the source of electrostatic field is scalar in nature. That is, the stationary charges produce electrostatic field. Electric field is produced by the stationary charges and the charge is a scalar quantity. But the magnetic field is produced by a current carrying conductor with current I and the length dl. It is a vector quantity. The stationary charges is a scalar quantity, but the current carrying conductor produces a magnetic field. It is a vector quantity. This is the first difference. Coulomb's law deals with the electrostatic field or electric field, and Biot-Savart's law deals with the magnetic field. In the case of electric field, we know that the stationary charges produce the electric field, and the stationary charge Q is a scalar quantity. And the current carrying conductors produce the magnetic field in Biot-Savart's, and it is a vector quantity. That is why we are representing it as vector dB is equal to mu 0 by 4 pi IDL vector, vector IDL into vector R divided by R cube. This is the vector representation of Biot-Savart's law. So here the source of magnetic field is vector in nature. Now the second difference between Biot-Savart's law and that of the Coulomb's law. In Coulomb's law, electric field is always act along the plane containing the distance between the point charges and the point where the electric field is to be calculated. But in the case of Biot-Savart's law, the magnetic field is act in the plane perpendicular to the plane of the distance r between the current element and the concerned point. Coulomb's law is parallel in nature, where the Biot-Savart's law is perpendicular in nature. In Coulomb's law, the electric field E always acts along the plane containing the distance between the point charges and the point where electric field is to be calculated. Suppose if we are considering a charge Q here, and this charge Q produces an electric field, and if we consider a point P in this electric field, and the distance of separation between them is R. So they are in a plane. They are not in perpendicular. They are in same direction. But in the case of Biot-Savart's law, here we are consider an infinitely long straight conductor. Let I be the current passing through the conductor. It produces a magnetic field. And we consider a point P here. It is separated by a distance of R. And this point P is make an angle theta with that of this conductor. And it is perpendicular in nature. Here the point P and that of the magnetic field is perpendicular. But in the case of Coulomb's law, the electric field and the point at which we are calculating the electric field, they are plane, parallel in nature. Now, the third difference between Biot-Savart's law and Coulomb's law. Biot-Savart's law depends on angle. In Biot-Savart's law, the magnetic field depends on angle. However, in Coulomb's law, the electric field doesn't depend on angle. It is independent on angle theta. Have you remember our Coulomb's law? Do you remember our Coulomb's law? Emmanuel, what is Coulomb's law? Yes.
And it is perpendicular to the
No, state Coulomb's law or only say the equation representing the Coulomb's law. F is equal to
Q into Q by R square.
Before that, in order to replace the proportionality sign, we are adding a proportionality constant there. What's that?
1 by 4 pi epsilon 0.
Yes, very good. F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q1 Q2 divided by R square. Is the any theta term is present here?
No.
No. So the Coulomb's law independent of the angle theta. Now, according to Biot-Savart's law, dB is equal to mu 0 by 4 pi IDL sine theta divided by R square. So Biot-Savart's law depends on angle theta, but Coulomb's law is independent on angle theta. So these are the difference between our Coulomb's law and that of Biot-Savart's law. Is it clear? So when you are studying the Biot-Savart's law, in addition with that, you must study the comparison between the Coulomb's law and that of the Biot-Savart's law. Now we can move to the next topic. Magnetic field along the axis of a circular coil. All of you write the next topic. Magnetic field. This is one of the application of Biot-Savart's law. Magnetic field along the axis of a circular loop. Magnetic field along the axis of a circular loop. Okay. So before discussing the derivations of magnetic field along the axis of circular loop, we want to introduce two rules in order to find out the magnetic field. Okay. Sometimes it may be studied, all of you have studied the same rule in 10th grade. Can you recall which rule that we are used to find out the magnetic field? Magnetic effects of electric current. In that chapter, we are studying about 3 rules. One is right hand thumb rule, Fleming's right hand rule, and Fleming's left hand rule. But the law that is or rule which is used to find out the direction of magnetic field is known as right hand thumb rule. So first of all, we can state the right hand thumb rule. I will explain and demonstrate the right hand thumb rule. After that, we can explain how it is works in the case of a straight conductor. So the right hand thumb rule states that if you hold a straight conductor in your right hand, if you hold a straight conductor in your right hand such that the thumb shows the direction of what? Thumb shows the direction of current and the wrapped fingers shows the direction of magnetic field. Very good. So this is what is our right hand thumb rule states. That is, if you hold a straight conductor in your right hand such that the thumb shows the direction of the current and wrapped fingers shows the direction of magnetic field. Okay. So now, now itself you can also perform this using your pen or pencil. So if the direction, in this case, what about the direction of the current? Is it is upward or downward? If you hold the straight conductor in this way, what about the direction of the current? Is it is upward or downward? Yes? Is it upward? It's not clear. Upward or? Very good. Here the direction of the current is upward. Then what about the direction of the magnetic field? Is it clockwise or anti-clockwise?
Anti-clockwise.
It is anti-clockwise. Very good. Very good. Now, what about this case? What about the direction of the current?
Downwards.
Here the direction of the current is downward. And what about the direction of the magnetic field?
Clockwise.
It is clockwise. So from this, we can conclude that whenever the current is in upward direction, the direction of the magnetic field is anti-clockwise. Similarly, if the direction of the current is changes, that is, if it flows in downward direction, then the direction of the magnetic field is clockwise. Now we can check how it is works in the case of a straight conductor. So before that, you can write right hand thumb rule. All of you write the statement of right hand thumb rule. If you hold a straight conductor, in right hand, if you hold a straight conductor in your right hand, such that the thumb shows the direction of current. Thumb shows the direction of current, and the wrapped fingers shows, by the term wrapped fingers, we mean that the curled fingers. Okay. The wrapped fingers shows the direction of magnetic field. So if you hold a straight conductor in your right hand such that the thumb shows the direction of the current and the wrapped fingers shows the direction of magnetic field. Now we can check how it is works in the case of a straight conductor. Okay. So these all are basics of this topic. You just try to understand it. So here we are consider a straight conductor. Let I be the current flowing through this straight conductor. Here we consider a straight conductor and I be the current that is flows through the straight conductor. So what about the direction of the current? Yes, Anna, what is the direction of the current here?
Upward.
It is upward. Then what about the direction of magnetic field? Here the direction of the current is upward. Then what about the direction of magnetic field? Yes. It is just like this. If you are applying the right hand thumb rule to the straight conductor, the direction of the current is upward. Then what about the direction of magnetic field? Is it clockwise or anti-clockwise? That is what is my question. It is anti-clockwise. So from this we can write, if the direction of the current is upward, if the current flows in upward direction, then the direction of magnetic field is anti-clockwise. So here we are consider a straight conductor and let I be the current flowing through the conductor. And we know that if a current passing through a straight conductor, it produces a, not only a straight conductor, if the current that flows through a current carrying conductor, it produces a magnetic field. And here we are using the right hand thumb rule to find the direction of this magnetic field produced. By applying the right hand thumb rule, it's very clear that whenever the current flows in an upward direction, then the magnetic field produced here is along the anti-clockwise direction. Okay. So again, one more question. This is the direction of the magnetic field. Suppose I consider a point P here. I consider a point P inside this magnetic field. Can you say what about the direction of the magnetic field at this point P? Is it inward or outward? Here this circle shows the direction of magnetic field. It shows the direction of magnetic field. And here I consider a point P inside this magnetic field. What about the direction of the magnetic field at the point P? Is it inward or outward? Here the magnetic field is pointing inward or outward. I know here the direction of the magnetic field is anti-clockwise direction and the point P lies here. Can you identify what about the direction of the magnetic field at the point P? Yes, is it is inward or outward? It is pointing inward, right? Here the arrow is pointing inwards. You just imagine if you are holding a conductor in your right hand, such that the thumb that is flowing upward direction, it shows the direction of the current. Here it shows the direction of the current. And the wrapped fingers shows the direction of the magnetic field. And in this case, we know that the wrapped fingers is pointing inwards, right? The wrapped fingers is pointing inwards. So at the point P, what about the direction of the magnetic field? From this arrow itself, it's clear. The direction of the magnetic field is inward. Again, I consider another point P dash here. I consider another point P dash in this magnetic field. Then what about the direction of the magnetic field at P dash? If it is inward or outward? Here it is wrapping around. If you are hold a straight conductor in your right hand, such that the current, the thumb shows the direction of the current, and the wrapped fingers shows the direction of the magnetic field. And here the direction of the magnetic field is pointing inwards. Similarly, I consider another point P dash here. So my question is this: what is the direction of the magnetic field at this point P dash? If it is inward or outward? Yes, Anna, it's right. Unmute and say.
Word.
Yes, it is outward. It is outward. Here the arrow mark is shows it is outward. It is came from inside to outward. Okay. Now, again, we are consider another straight conductor. So from this, it's conclude that whenever the current is flowing in an upward direction, then the magnetic field produced is in anti-clockwise direction. And if we consider a point P inside the magnetic field here, then the direction of the magnetic field is inward. And if we consider another point P dash here, the direction of the magnetic field is outward. Okay. Now again we are consider another straight conductor. And in this time, the current flows in downward direction, just reverse case. Here the current flows in downward direction. So we know that the thumb shows the direction of the current and the wrapped fingers shows the direction of magnetic field. In this case, the current is flowing downward. Then apply the right hand thumb rule. What about the direction of the magnetic field here?
Clockwise.
Yes, it is in clockwise direction. It is in clockwise direction. So from here we can conclude, if the current flows in downward direction, if the current I flows in downward direction, by applying the right hand thumb rule, we can say that the direction of magnetic field B is clockwise direction. So if the current flows in a downward direction, then the magnetic field, according to the right hand thumb rule, the direction of the magnetic field is along clockwise. It is in clockwise direction. So here this is represents the magnetic field B and this is represents the current I. So if the current I flows in downward direction, then the magnetic field produced along the clockwise direction. Now just similar to that of the above case, here we are consider the 2 points in the magnetic field. Suppose if I consider a point P in this magnetic field, what about the direction of the magnetic field here? Is it is inward or outward?
Out.
Yes, it is outward. Because it is out of the plane of the board, right? The arrow mark is shows out of the plane of the board. In this case, the direction of the magnetic field at the point P is outward. Again, I consider another point P dash here. What about the direction of the magnetic field at P dash? Yes. What is the direction of P dash? Here the magnetic field is pointing into the plane, that is inward. That is just opposite to that of the above case. Whenever the direction of the current changes, the direction of the magnetic field is also changes. Okay. If the direction of the current changes, the direction of the magnetic field is also undergoes changes. So here we are finding the direction of the magnetic field by applying the right hand thumb rule. In the second case, we consider a straight conductor and let I be the current that is flows through the conductor. When a current flowing through a current carrying conductor, it produces a magnetic field. And in this case, the direction of the current is downward. The thumb shows the direction of the current and the wrapped fingers shows the direction of the magnetic field. So the direction of the magnetic field is clockwise. If the direction of the current is downward direction, the direction of the magnetic field is clockwise. That is what is we are represent here. And when we consider the points P and P dash in the magnetic field, by applying this right hand thumb rule, we can find out the direction of the magnetic field at the point P and P dash respectively. So first we consider the point P inside the magnetic field. From this diagram itself, it is clear that here the magnetic field is came outside, out of the plane. So the direction of the magnetic field at the point P is outward. Now we consider another point P dash in this magnetic field. Here we know that according to the right hand thumb rule, the direction of the magnetic field is clockwise. And here this direction is pointing into the plane. It is pointing into the plane. So at P dash, the direction of the magnetic field is inward. So from these two situations, we can conclude that whenever the direction of the current changes, the direction of the magnetic field is also changes. If the direction of the current change, the direction of the magnetic field is also changes. Okay. Now we can check the magnetic field along a circular loop. Here we are explaining the magnetic field, the direction of the magnetic field in the case of a straight conductor. Now we are going to explain the magnetic field along a circular loop. So in order to explain the magnetic field along the circular loop, we can use another rule. That rule is known as right hand palm rule. The second rule is known as right hand palm rule. Palm, P-A-L-M, palm. Magnetic field along a circular coil or circular loop. Here we are going to apply the right hand palm rule. We are much familiar with that of the right hand thumb rule, but you may not be familiar with that of this right hand palm rule, right? It is a new one for you. Right hand palm rule. Have you heard about this right hand palm rule? No. Okay. So actually this right hand palm rule is exactly opposite to that of the right hand thumb rule. In right hand thumb rule, if you hold a straight conductor in your right hand such that the thumb shows the direction of the current and the wrapped fingers shows the direction of magnetic field. But in the case of a right hand palm rule, if you hold a circular coil, you just imagine here there is no circular thing. Okay. If it is a, just imagine it's a circular coil, okay? If you hold a circular coil or circular loop in your right hand, such that the thumb shows the direction of the magnetic field and the wrapped fingers shows the direction of current. If you hold a circular coil or circular loop in your right hand, such that the thumb shows the direction of magnetic field. It is exactly opposite to that of the right hand thumb rule. So if you are applying the right hand thumb rule, we can find the direction of magnetic field in a circular coil. That is, if you hold a circular coil in your right hand such that the thumb shows the direction of magnetic field and the wrapped fingers shows the direction of current. Okay, so all of you write the statement of right hand palm rule. Right hand palm rule. If you hold a circular coil, if you hold a circular coil in your right hand, if you hold a circular coil in your right hand, such that the thumb shows the direction of magnetic field, such that the thumb shows the direction of magnetic field and the wrapped fingers shows the direction of current. The wrapped fingers shows the direction of current.
Ma'am,
Yes.
can you say after right hand such that?
Okay. If you hold a circular coil in your right hand, such that the thumb shows the direction of magnetic field, such that the thumb shows the direction of magnetic field and the wrapped fingers shows the direction of current. And the wrapped fingers shows the direction of current. Okay. Now we can explain how it is works in the case of a circular loop. How the right hand palm rule works in the case of a circular loop. So for that, we can consider a circular loop. Let I be the current flowing in the circular loop. Here we are consider a circular loop. Let I be the current flowing in a circular loop. So now we want to find out the direction of the magnetic field. Okay, we want to find out the direction of the magnetic field. So here if we are applying the right hand palm rule, the wrapped fingers are along this direction. Can you see this? Okay. The wrapped fingers shows the direction of magnetic field and the thumb shows the direction of, sorry, the wrapped fingers shows the direction of current and the thumb shows the direction of magnetic field. So here, this is the direction of the current. The direction of the current is along clockwise direction. What about the direction of the magnetic field? I will show this using this wire. We just imagine this is our circular loop. Okay. Now, I hold the circular loop like this here. What about the direction of the magnetic field? Is it is pointing into the board or out of the board?
Inwards.
It is pointing inwards. That is, the wrapped fingers shows the direction of the current. And the direction of the current is clockwise direction. And the direction of the magnetic field is inwards into the plane. That is what I'm asking here. So, in the case of a circular loop, if you are applying the right hand palm rule, if the direction of the current is clockwise direction, then the direction of the magnetic field is inwards. The direction of the magnetic field is inwards. So it shows a south polarity. It shows a south polarity. If the direction of the current is clockwise direction, then the direction of the magnetic field is inwards, and it shows a south polarity. That is, the observable part of the circular loop is south, and the next part, the other part behind this is north. So here we can say it is pointing from south to north. That is, you just imagine here, if this part, you just imagine if it is a solid thing, not a hollow sphere. If it is a circular part, you just imagine in the case of a two sides of coin. Okay, the observable part is known as the south and the other part is the north. So if the current is flows in a clockwise direction, the direction of the magnetic field is inward and it shows a south polarity. So you just try to understand this concept, then only we can explain the derivation of the magnetic field along the axis of a circular coil. You just try to understand the points. That is, if the direction of the current is clockwise along a circular coil, then the magnetic field, the direction of the magnetic field is inward. It shows a south polarity. Again, now we are going to change the direction of the current. Consider another circular coil. Now we are going to consider another circular coil. Here the direction of the current is changed to this side. That is, here I am going to place a circular coil like this. And I place the current in opposite direction. What about the direction of magnetic field? Is it is projecting into the board or out of the board?
Outwards.
It is projecting outwards. That is, if you change the direction of the current, the direction of the magnetic field is changes and it is pointing outwards. So by applying the right hand palm rule, we can find the direction of the magnetic field. So here the direction of the current is changes. It is changes to anti-clockwise direction. Here the direction of the current is anti-clockwise. Then the direction of the magnetic field is pointing outwards. The direction of the magnetic field is pointing outwards. Here the magnetic field is pointing outwards. Or we can say it shows a north polarity. It's pointing outwards. So it shows a north polarity. That is, the observable part of the circular coil is north and it is pointing to outwards, north to south. If the direction of the current is anti-clockwise, the direction of the magnetic field is outwards and it shows a north polarity. Only these 3 points you must kept in your mind. That is, in the first case, if the direction of the current is clockwise, the direction of the magnetic field is inwards and it shows a south polarity. In the second case, that is, here we are reversing the direction of the current. In this case, the direction of the current is anti-clockwise. Then the direction of the magnetic field is outwards. It is projecting out of the board, that is projecting towards you. And then it shows a north polarity. Okay.
Ma'am,
Yes.
what is meant by north polarity?
North polarity means the observable part of the circular coil is north and the other part is south. Observable part of the circular coil is north and the other part is south. And we are studying about the direction of the magnetic field lines in 10th grade. Do you remember that? I will show this. If you are considering a bar magnet, for example, if you are consider a bar magnet, it possesses 2 poles, north pole and that of the south pole. What is the direction of the magnetic field? The direction of the magnetic field is represented by the magnetic field lines, and it is projecting from north to south outside the magnet, north to south outside the magnet, and from south to north inside the magnet. So if the direction of the current is anti-clockwise, the direction of the magnetic field is outwards. The direction of the magnetic field is outwards, that it is pointing from north to south. If the direction of the current is clockwise, then it is pointing from south to north. That is, the direction of the magnetic field is inward.
Okay, ma'am.
So these are all our basics of this derivation. So the derivation, we can discuss the derivation of magnetic field along the axis of the circular coil in the next class. Okay, I think Emmanuel become very happy, right? You can ask. Okay, so that's all. Thank you, children. Thank you, children. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.